Play that shit. What's going on, y'all? The NCZ3 here, bringing y'all an attack video, and yes, I know I rarely do these, but when people go out of their way to completely ruin the gameplay of a whole guild, I take it very personal, and I don't sit idle. And well, hopefully y'all enjoy these attacks I'll be making. Yes, they will be in fast pace, because it's about 30 minutes worth of attacks, and I'll be making attacks against anybody 18 million might, all the way up to a little bit past 30 million might, and it's basically 1 versus 100, so I don't think I'm bullying anybody. I also got rallies for 1.5 million, so y'all get to see that as well. I will show you guys my talents and all that good stuff. But anyways, grab some fucking popcorn, grab a helmet, buckle the fuck up, and don't forget the bleach. First up is gonna be this lovely group. Let's go ahead and send these attacks in. Start the fucking music already! Shit. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I want to show you guys that I am level 60 and I have more points to spend on talents than the average person viewing this video. But let's go ahead and get into this, and I'll show you the 1.5 million rally after this. On a side note here, guys, anything that says army on it is absolutely a bonus. It's a big thing. Max those out because they do not specify the troop type. But let's go down. We're going to max out our army offense. We're going to go ahead and go down more. We're going to completely forget about all of the troop training because, guys, when you're either in attack mode or defense mode, you're not really worried about how many troops you produce for the most part. You're worried about killing their troops or having your troops not being killed. So keep that in mind, right? But we're going to continue down. We're going to go down. Here's our first army, or actually I'd say our second army stat that we're going to max out here. It's going to give 13% army defense, 13% army max HP at the next one. And then we start getting into 5 points. That's whatever. It's not a big deal. We're going to keep going. Again, we're going to completely ignore all of the troop training because, again, we're not worried about it. But we're going to go all the way down to the bottom, and I know not everybody has all the points that I've got, so come down to squad defense and max it out, and squad health and max it out because it gives you 87%, so a total of 100% extra squad health and squad defense. Basically, your entire army gets this buff, and it's really good. And then I max out all of my ranged offense because the main part of this is that even though your infantry and your cavalry hit first, like the first ones up, your ranged are always attacking, okay? So always remember that. So when you're defending, your cavalry and your infantry are not attacking all the time, but your infantry is. I mean, my bad, your ranged is. But then I spread the points out between the infantry and the offense. But let's go ahead and get into this 1.5 million rally, shall we? Real quick, I wanted to show you guys that I have the Thrall title, which gives a minus 5% army attack and minus 10% army defense. And the person making the attack has a plus 6% army attack title buff and a 10% battle hall buff. I don't think I lost this fight, and I'll explain why towards the end. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Let's play the fucking battle. Holy shit, Batman, the walls in this game suck. right? The walls need a definite buff. It's going to be 1.56 million attacking troops versus 1.58 million defending troops. There's two things y'all really need to take into consideration here. First being that the attacking army has a combined total of 16% additional army attack in the form of 6% on the title and 10% for the battle hall. Now, I also want you guys to consider this. I suffer from a minus 5% army attack and a minus 10% army defense from the thrall title that this enemy guild placed upon me, which is whatever, but my morale is getting the shit kicked out of it, man, but that's to be expected. But yeah, I think we're going to be retreating here. Yep, sure enough, we retreated, and it says defeat. But really, is it a defeat? Man, let's look at these, let's look at the actual battle report, shall we? And here we go. We've got some resource loss here, but it's whatever. I gained a shit ton of resources on my attack, so I'm not really hurting about that. Let's look at these battle report, though, yeah? It says 364,056 total losses. Now, for me, the part that I pay attention to isn't the actual losses right here. I pay attention down to the army report, and it says they lost and they'll never get back because there's no infirmaries when you attack. 364,056 for a combined might loss of 8,737,000 to that enemy guild. Because remember, it's my guild, which is an army of one, it's just myself, versus them. It's 8.7 million might loss they suffered. Now, let's look at the report on my side. Right? It says my total losses are 484,000. You're like, man, you lost VNNCZ3. Man, you lost big time, about 80,000 troop difference. And I'm just like, that's cool, bro. But you got to remember, right? I had all these debuffs. They had all the buffs, and they only managed to actually kill 199,576 of my actual troops. The rest of them, 280,000, got wounded. They only wounded the majority of this number right here. So in my opinion, guys, I would honestly have to say that this is definitely a victory in my favor. If for anybody who does a lot of attacks or knows anything about this game, you know that wounded does not count. It doesn't count. You want to zero your opponent, so you've got to kill all their troops. Wounding the majority of my troops is not exactly killing me. So at least in my opinion, I think that I'm the victor. But anyways, guys, what do y'all think, man? In conclusion, it's going to be just myself versus D4S, which happens to be our number 2 ranked guild in the Kingdom 4. But you know what, man? I take it absolutely personal when a guild like this goes completely out of their way to wreck, to ruin the gameplay of an entire guild that can't even defend itself. Regardless of politics, all real talk, those are real people, and they're going out of their way to completely ruin their fucking gameplay, man. That shit pisses me off. But anyways, man, set aside all the beef and just talk it out like people, man, or fight against people who can actually defend themselves. But you know what, man? I'm not gonna even do this. Just fucking cue the outro.